All right, today we're taking a look behind the scenes at how I record B-roll. Let's do this. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we are shooting B-roll. That's right, it's all about the B-roll, specifically Agamonia B-roll. Now, we've got a lot of videos coming out, and our Agamonia video is going to be a big one, and there's just so much B-roll to do. And when we do B-roll, here's the thing. We got like contents spread all over this table at the moment. It's actually going to get a lot prettier because the next part we're doing requires us to set up the game. The next part we're doing requires us to set up the game properly. So that's what we're doing next. And this is what we use, by the way. So we use this thing. This is our setup for doing the close shots. So we got our Sony, our Mira Sony 6400, is that what that is? Yeah, it's a 6400. So we got our Sony 6400 mounted to this Pixie. And then from here, we have this thing, which is called, is that a Joby? Is that how you pronounce that? We got one of these jobbies attached to the top of it. Now, the reason we do that is because it gives us kind of more flexibility. So we could do more twisty things, which I can't do with one hand. But it gives us a lot more angles on the action. Lets us get down close and freeze up my hands, which is great. But for the long shots, the big shots, the shots of the full table, we use this bad boy right here. See, we got it set nice and tall, and it's going to be aimed at the table, which is currently, as I mentioned, a mess. But when it all comes together, it's nice and clean, and it works. Also, if you're doing a video, if you're ever doing a video with a lot of B-roll, I recommend writing notes. Like, go through your script. Hopefully you have a script. And I actually write it in point form, like move character from one space to the next, flip this card, drop this piece, roll this many dice. So I basically go step by step. This is what I need to do. So technically I could just read that, ignore the script, and just do those shots. And then in some cases, if you watch our Power Rangers How to Play, you'll notice a lot of overlays. So for those sections, I actually just highlight that in the script with a bright blue. So I know those sections I'm just going to do digitally. So I'm going to do the whole graphic digitally, and I'll blur out the background. So we do that as well as the traditional B-roll. But here's the thing: when you do traditional B-roll, your fingers, Rodney, if you're watching, Rodney, there's no chance you're watching this. But if you are watching this, which you're not, he does a lot of the fingers, just pointing to things. He doesn't do a lot of he does do some effects, but he's a finger pointing guy, and which is great because I prefer to do that because there's less editing when you do the finger pointies. So that's something to keep in mind when doing B-roll. And lighting can also be a bit of a pain because here's the thing. Oh, you might have noticed. See that ceiling light? It's got a little black flap on there, and that one's got a little black flap. And that one there, the flap is closed. Well, you see, when I try to do B-roll, I like to do B-roll. If it's a close-up, I like to do the camera on one angle, and then the camera on the other angle, and then another, and then straight on. That way, it keeps the shots moving, keeps them interesting. But problem with that, and these lights, which I'm not a huge fan of the studio lights, these lights we have here are default overhead lights, but you get a lot of glare from certain angles. So wherever there's a light opposite you, you're going to get a glare from that because that's how glare light works. It just bounces straight into your lens. So when we're shooting like that way, then we cover up like that light, and then we can open up those to brighten up the scene. But if we're shooting toward that light, then we'll uncover some others and block up that one. So that's improving. You improve everything step by step, and you learn from your mistakes. So those black things, they're not always there. And I have them set up like a little flap. So you see a little piece that's a tape. I'm actually doing pretty good at pointing these things. Acts like a little thing. So that one tape is a piece of like a hinge, and the other piece of tape acts like a little snap. So I just like boop, put that up. Oh, my miming was so close there for a second. So I just boop, put that up, and it snaps shut like that one. There you go. Okay, so that's a little behind the scenes look at how we do our B-roll. Let's get ready to film some stuff. All right, so we got our game topper all cleared up and ready for some recording. It's actually a little dusty. Maybe we should do some dusting. And helping me out today is Millie and Hitch. Way to go, guys. Thanks for coming out. And we got Brittany.
Hi.
So Brittany, as I mentioned, how I write those like one-line notes saying like, move this, play that, roll this. Brittany is going to read them out to me. Where is she? She's right there. And she just marks them off saying, check, done, done, done. It makes it so much easier. So while she's over here reading back lines, I'm over here setting up the scene. Ready? Let's do this. And this is the final result of our setup instructional for Agamonia. Huh? Not bad. We did it. We finally finished the B-roll for Agamonia. Now, I said I'd never do a video with special lighting, but well, technically that's on, but it's behind me, so it really shouldn't be helping. But the reason that's there is because, well, look, this is the disaster that's left behind. Look at this, just stuff like everywhere. Anyways, and there's our camera, and my feet hurt because let me tell you a tip. These floors are hard, and I'm not wearing any shoes, and yeah, my heels hurt because I've been staying for hours, walking around the table, you know, like setting that up, moving the camera, doing this. It's just a thing. Oh, and if you look at this, yeah, the reason why I have Madara here on the floor is because to get the right angle with my tripod, which I already put away, I had one of the legs standing on that, so it kind of like leant over the table a bit. So little tricks of the trade. Could probably just get a better tripod. But yeah. So I'm so happy it's done, and it's like 8:30, so I still have like the evening, and I think I'm just gonna go have a beer and sit down and rest my feet. All right. So during this whole process of B-rolling and making a mess, and here's the little secret is see how messy this looks, but on camera it looks clean, right? Because all that matters is what's in frame. But you know what's out of frame? Brittany. And you know what I hear a lot of is, Brittany, what do I hear a lot of?
I'm making a human.
Yep. That excuse
It's such hard work.
Is gone a lot of traction. And I don't mean excuse is a bad thing. I don't mean this streak is a bad thing. I mean, it's true. She's making a human, but I must hear that at least every 15 minutes.
Because it's valid.
Thanks for joining us. If you like this video and you want to see more, subscribe to our channel. It's the best way to keep up to date with everything we do here at Board Game Coffee. But if you want to see more right now, we got plenty of videos to choose from. And if that's not enough, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. I'm Mark Maya, and this is Board Game Coffee. And remember, have fun, keep gaming, be social. See you next week.